Why is it that every time someone tells you to just think positive, it feels more like salt on a wound than a balm for healing? Why does chasing happiness so often reopen wounds instead of closing them? Marcus Aurelius warned us centuries ago, "The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts," yet we've twisted that wisdom into empty affirmations and forced smiles. Here's the uncomfortable Stoic truth. Your mind wasn't built for comfort. It was built for survival, wired to amplify fear and replay anxiety until you're trapped in a prison of pain you unknowingly helped design. But what if real strength isn't about pretending everything is fine, but about facing the shadows you've spent your whole life avoiding? Today, I want to share with you a powerful Stoic insight that shatters every shallow version of positivity you've been sold. And once you truly understand it, you'll never see yourself or your struggles the same way again. The power of your mind. Your thoughts aren't harmless whispers that float and fade. They're powerful architects shaping the world you live in, moment by moment. Isn't it strange how we often treat our inner voice as meaningless background noise, never realizing it's setting the boundaries of our potential? The ancient Stoics knew better. Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts." Think about that. Your happiness and success don't begin in the world outside you. They begin with how you interpret that world inside your own mind. Imagine waking up certain that your day is doomed. You've already rehearsed defeat in your mind before your feet hit the floor. You're living out a story written not by your strength but by your fears. The problem is, most of us never stop to question these internal scripts. We assume our perception is truth, never realizing it's shaped entirely by mindset. Carl Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." How often have you blamed fate for something your own thoughts set into motion? Your thoughts aren't passive, they are active creators of your reality. And here's the empowering part. If they hold that much power, then you also hold the power to change everything. What if, instead of waking up resigned, you chose to rewrite your internal script? What if you began each day by reminding yourself that no matter what comes your way, you have the strength, resilience, and clarity to handle it? Seneca, another great Stoic, said it best. "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." How many of your worries, defeats, and breakdowns exist only in your own mind? Shadows painted on the walls of your inner world. But by acknowledging your mind's power, you can reclaim authorship of your story and rewrite it into one of courage and meaning. Think of it this way. Your mind isn't a chaotic machine, it's a garden. If left alone, weeds of doubt and negativity will overrun it. But if you plant seeds of courage, clarity, and strength, those are the roots that will grow. Modern psychology backs this up with the idea of cognitive reframing, the practice of turning threats into challenges, setbacks into growth. This isn't blind optimism, it's deliberate strength. It's the Stoic art of transforming obstacles into fuel. So next time you catch yourself spiraling into negativity, pause, catch the thought, challenge it, reframe it. Epictetus said it plainly. People are not disturbed by things, but by the views they take of them. Life isn't just happening to you. You are interpreting it, moment by moment. Choose interpretations that build you, that ignite action, not paralysis. Once you truly grasp the immense potential of your mind, you'll realize the power you were looking for was never outside. It's always been within you, quietly waiting for permission to lead. Your thoughts shape your reality, so shape them deliberately, boldly, and wisely. Feed your fear, or feed your confidence. Every single morning, you're standing at a silent crossroad. It might not be dramatic or obvious, but it's always there. That fleeting moment where you choose between feeding fear or building confidence. Seneca once wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." And he was right. Most of our fears don't live out in the world. They live in our heads, vivid illusions that quietly cage our potential. It's easy to feed those fears, to water them with doubt and repetition, until they grow so large they block the path forward. But ask yourself honestly, what would your life look like if you stopped fueling those lies and started investing in courage instead? Let's not sugarcoat it. Life won't suddenly become simple. Negativity will still show up, knocking with familiar scripts. You're not ready. This is too hard. But here's the truth. You don't have to invite it in. You can interrupt that thought mid-sentence and flip the script. Instead of thinking, I can't handle this, say, I've been through worse and came out stronger. I can handle this too. It's simple, but don't mistake that for weakness. Reframing is power, and your mind is always listening to what you say most often. Carl Jung once said, I'm not what happened to me, I am what I choose to become. Each thought you feed is shaping the person you're becoming. Think of confidence like a muscle. Each time you replace fear with belief, doubt with purpose, you're training that muscle. You're reprogramming your brain. Those mental repetitions add up, and over time, what once scared you becomes familiar, even energizing. But let's be real. It takes effort. Building mental resilience requires daily discipline. Marcus Aurelius said, very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. Every day presents small but powerful moments to strengthen your mindset. Speak up when you'd normally stay quiet. Tackle that task you've avoided. Start that conversation you've been putting off. Each small act of bravery becomes a deposit in your reservoir of courage. You start proving to yourself, again and again, that you're more capable than your fears suggest. The Stoics were clear. Emotional control is within your grasp, even if external life isn't. Epictetus taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Every moment, every setback is a fork in the road. Will it feed your fear or your strength? Will you surrender to anxiety or deliberately focus on your past resilience, your current abilities, your proven worth? Your mental diet shapes your destiny. Your mind is a muscle. People spend hours each week training their bodies, lifting, running, tracking food. But how often do we train our minds with the same seriousness? Strange, isn't it? We admire six-pack abs, but ignore emotional clarity, mental peace, and inner strength. Yet your mind controls it all. If it's weak, nothing else truly matters. Even Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, wrote, the things you think about determine the quality of your mind. Your soul takes on the color of your thoughts. What you think consistently becomes who you are. Here's something practical. Before your day begins, before the chaos, the emails, the scrolling, pause. Stand in front of the mirror and say something real to yourself. Not a cheesy mantra, but something grounded. I am enough. I have what it takes. I don't need to prove myself to anyone today. Yes, it might feel weird, especially if you're not used to treating yourself with compassion, but the awkwardness fades. The strength you build from it, that stays. Carl Jung said, you are what you do, not what you say you'll do. So don't wait to feel confident, build it. Reps matter. Just like physical training, your mind gets stronger through repetition. Gratitude instead of frustration. Reflection instead of reaction. All of it stacks up. Your default shifts. You go from spiraling to solving, from doubting to deciding. Perfection, not the goal. Some days you'll mess up. That's part of it. The Stoics didn't aim to eliminate emotion. They aimed to manage it. Epictetus reminded us, no man is free who is not master of himself. That mastery doesn't come by avoiding stress. It's earned in the moment when stress hits and you return to your training. When fear rises, you breathe. You choose to respond, not react. You pick power over panic. Start small. 10 deep breaths in the morning. 1 journal line. Here's what I'm grateful for. 1 honest affirmation before a tough meeting. You're not building some fantasy mindset. You're developing mental toughness, and like any muscle, consistency is the key, not motivation, discipline. As Seneca said, luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Mental training is your preparation, so when life throws chaos your way, and it will, you won't fold. You'll respond with a calm that surprises even you, not because the storm vanished, but because you trained for it. Train your mind like your life depends on it. Because, in many ways, it does. Take action. Have you ever noticed how belief feels strong until it's time to act? That's the gap where most people stall. They dream. They write down intentions. They talk passionately about goals. But they don't move. And that first move, that uncomfortable step, that's where the real shift begins. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one." In other words, enough talking, start doing. Here's the truth. Action kills fear. Every time you do what scares you, even just a little, fear shrinks. It's not magic, it's exposure. The Stoics taught this with voluntary discomfort. Face discomfort by choice, so when real adversity hits, you're ready. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, then do what you have to do." It's simple, not easy. You don't need a 10-step plan, you need a decision, one bold move, one email, one honest conversation, one tiny push forward, and suddenly you're not stuck. You're moving. Belief is no longer just in your head, it's in your hands. So yes, visualize, yes, affirm. But more than anything, act. Let belief move through your choices. Let your behavior embody who you claim to be. Because when you start living like the person you aspire to become, something unlocks. You stop waiting, you stop doubting, and before you even realize it, you become the proof that action changes everything. Stop waiting. Let's be honest, how many parts of your life are on hold right now just because you're waiting for the right moment? That perfect surge of motivation, the sudden clarity, the stars to finally align. Here's the truth. That moment almost never arrives. And when it does, it rarely comes when you need it most. Seneca said it plainly. While we wait for life, life passes. You're not stuck because you lack ability. You're stuck because you keep waiting. Perfection is a lie fear tells you. Wait until you're ready. Wait until you're confident. Wait until the timing is ideal. But life doesn't reward hesitation. It rewards movement. Even a shaky step forward is better than standing still. Carl Jung once wrote, "The greatest burden a child must bear is the unlived life of the parents." And that weight lingers. It echoes every time you silence your truth, every time you stall instead of start. You're not just postponing a task. You're delaying the version of you that's ready to emerge. Momentum is magic. It doesn't need certainty. It needs motion. Once you move, your mind adapts. What felt overwhelming starts to shrink. Confidence isn't built by waiting. It's built through doing and doing again. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." That thing you're avoiding? It's not your obstacle. It's your starting point. Stop handing fear the microphone. Stop letting excuses narrate your life. You don't need more plans. You don't need more time. You need to act now, even if it's small, especially if it's small. That message you've been putting off? Send it. That idea you've shelved? Sketch it. That habit you've delayed? Start it. Today is the only thing you control, not the imaginary someday. Every action you take chips away at fear's control. Doubt quiets. You strengthen. You don't need permission. You already hold the key. Rethink failure. It's strange how we treat failure, like it's contagious, as if touching it will taint everything. But failure isn't a disease, it's a mirror. And if you're brave enough to really look, it reflects exactly where you need to grow. Marcus Aurelius said, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it." Most people don't fear failure itself. They fear what it says about them. Think about learning to ride a bike. You fell, you scraped your knees, you cried, but you got back on. Why? Because failing wasn't final. It was expected. You didn't take it personally. You knew it was part of learning. Somewhere along the way, that mindset vanished. Now, failure feels like proof we're unworthy, but it's not. It's feedback. It's life redirecting you, not punishing you. Carl Jung said, "There is no coming to consciousness without pain." Growth lives in discomfort, in resistance, in the comeback. Every mistake is a lesson, every failure a breadcrumb toward clarity. The key isn't avoiding failure, it's failing forward with your eyes open and ego in check. The Stoics didn't fear failure, they respected it. Seneca believed adversity was fuel. Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body. So when things fall apart, don't retreat, reflect. Ask not, why me? Ask, what is this here to teach me? That one question reframes the entire story. You stop being the victim. You become the student. Failure builds what success can't. Resilience, humility, awareness. It doesn't make you less. It makes you wiser, sharper, more grounded. So next time things go wrong, don't run. Sit with it. Learn from it. Adjust. Move again. Failure isn't the opposite of progress. It's the road that leads there. Success isn't luck. Let's get clear. Most people don't fail because of bad luck. They fail because they keep waiting for luck to arrive. Real success isn't flashy. It's not viral. It's not found in formulas. It's built in silence, in routine, in showing up when no one's clapping. Marcus Aurelius said, "Do the right thing, the rest doesn't matter." That's what discipline is. Doing the right thing again and again, even when it's inconvenient, even when no one sees. We live in a world addicted to shortcuts, but real transformation doesn't care about hacks. It cares about consistency. Small actions repeated over time compound. That short workout, that one chapter, that choice to stay focused instead of scroll, those choices build identity. Carl Jung said, "You are what you do, not what you say you'll do. Your actions shape your future, not your dreams." It's not about grinding 24/7. It's about showing up for your quiet promises, getting up when it's hard, finishing when motivation dies, choosing stillness over distraction. That's the edge. That's where the shift begins. Seneca said, "Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity." You don't wait for your moment, you prepare for it. And that preparation is built in tiny routines, small disciplines that seem insignificant but carry everything. Most people won't get it. They'll keep searching for magic. But you build it. So start with one habit, make it non-negotiable, master it, then add another. That's how you build a life that doesn't rely on luck. It relies on you. Commitment. Have you noticed how easy it is to kind of want something, to dip your toes in while keeping an exit route open, just in case? It feels safe, reasonable, but that's not transformation, that's hesitation. Carl Jung said, "People will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own soul." And half commitment is exactly that, a strategy to avoid depth. Most people don't fail from lack of talent. They fail because they never actually decided. They flirt with growth, date discipline, but never marry the process. The Stoics had no patience for hesitation. Epictetus asked, "How long will you wait before you demand the best for yourself?" That's not a quote. That's a challenge. If you're not fully in, you're already halfway out. Commitment isn't glamorous. It's not a highlight reel. It's early alarms, late nights, and the voice in your head that says, "I'm doing this, no matter what." That's what Marcus Aurelius meant when he said, "If it is endurable, then endure it. Stop complaining." Because when you push through the urge to quit, you harden your character. You prove that this isn't just motivation, it's identity. No more backups, no more escape plans, just one direction, forward. So if you're serious, really serious, make the decision. The real one, the one you live through setbacks, fatigue, silence. Because once you go all in, everything changes. Not because life becomes easier, but because you stop running, and that's where it all begins. Take charge. There comes a moment when thinking must turn into movement, when all your planning, prepping, and analyzing is just disguised procrastination. Maybe that moment is now, not tomorrow, not next week. Now. Marcus Aurelius said, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." That kind of urgency slices through the noise. Because you don't need more time, you need more truth. And the truth is, you're ready. You always have been. Forget waiting for motivation. Forget perfect clarity. Those arrive after movement, not before. Carl Jung said, "You are what you do, not what you say you'll do." So today isn't just another date on the calendar. It's a vote, a decision, a declaration of who you're becoming. What are you ready to claim? Say it out loud. Write it down. Drop it in the comments. Name it. This isn't a wish anymore. It's a commitment, a turning point. The second you externalize that decision, something shifts. You're no longer hiding. You've stepped into the arena. Seneca wrote, "It's not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." Let this be the day you stop wasting, the day you draw the line, the day you say, enough, no more stalling, no more permission seeking, just bold, deliberate movement toward the life you keep envisioning. This isn't hype. It's ownership. So if you're ready, truly ready, take the reins. Move quietly, deliberately, unshakably. This is your moment. Don't blink. Thank you for being part of Stoic Post. If you're ready to go deeper, tap one of the videos on your screen. I'll see you there.